Some people don't cost you money, they cost you time, and sometimes that's even more expensive. Today, I want to tell you about a deal that taught me one of the biggest business lessons I've learned this year. And this isn't about calling anybody out or pointing fingers. It's about recognizing the difference between people who are interested and people who are actually committed. Because if you can't tell the difference, it can cost you weeks, missed opportunities, and a whole lot of frustration. Let me tell you what happened. My name's Aaron Lambert, and this is me going live for 30 days. I think we're on episode 13, and I'm a real estate investor here in Las Vegas. I operate across multiple states across the United States, Louisiana, Texas, and Florida. And I've going live for 30 days to bring you the good, the bad, and the ugly with real estate investment, the ins and outs of what I'm doing. It's a lot of me just talking and rambling, but hopefully if you listen and stick around, you get something from it. So today I want to go over something that just happened to me. It's like super fresh. It was like 2 days ago. Actually, no, it was yesterday. And the importance of recognizing people that say they're going to be a partner with you, and whether or not how committed they are to the actual project. And once you see the commitment level and where we went with this one, you as well will be surprised, I believe. So I want to take this back a little bit, to about 3 or 4 months ago. I had reached out to a specific person that I've known for over 2 years. I've known him since he started kind of his real estate journey, at least in the sub two gator world. And we've had good relationships, good conversations, really good, nice guy. And when I spoke to him 3 or 4 months back, he's went on to tell me about how he has scaled this operation, and I was really impressed. So we started talking about Vegas and what I was doing over here, and him and his partner was real interested in kind of scaling over here. They were looking for other places to scale their operation, Florida. And then whenever they talked to me, they found like, oh, this might be a good because they're already set up. So we went back and forth, and I started sending them kind of somewhat opportunities. And at the time, those weren't great opportunities. They just hit right under the mark, needed to increase the income. And in order to increase the income, we had to make a few little changes to the property, switch some people out, put higher paying tenants in there, so on and so forth. So I started working with my partner out here to make those changes. And over the course of the past 3 months, we fell upon, there was a property that was presented, a business opportunity that was presented to us, which I shared on a previous show, where we had an opportunity to buy a group home that was generating $40,000 a month, of which I'm closing on next week. Yay! And we were buying the property at like $200,000 with equity, undervalue, and then we were buying the business with 0% down, 0% financing. Great deal. The only problem was me nor the two other gentlemen knew anything about the medical field and operating this business. So that was kind of the challenge. So a month into the transaction, they decided to back out. And I understood why. We talked about it. It's like they don't have any medical experience. I don't. So we're like, okay, that's cool, fine. And that ended up being a great deal for me, because I found partners here in town that have the experience, that's super excited. And now not only are we closing on the one, but we got two other ones we just put under contract yesterday. So moving forward, so about a week or two goes by, and then some opportunities with the 55 plus co-living come up out here. And I presented them again to this group of these two gentlemen. And we start going through the numbers, and the numbers look great. And the entry fee for what was generated as cash flow was great. The amount of effort to get the income to increase was great. This specific property won, and I'm going to show y'all here in a second, but it's already generating $6,000 a month. It's a sub 2 property, so we're doing just a transfer of title. We don't even have to get a new loan. So the entry fee was although it was at 90,000, it was less than what it would have if we had to get a new loan. And the numbers made great sense, right? 15%. I think it was like all they had to do was hit 15%, but it was even more than that. I think it generated like 20%. We'll pull it up here in a minute, but the so we got it under contract, meaning buying it from my current partner here in town, and now we're going to put it into a new entity. And these guys are coming in as capital partners. So they started the entity creation. I started getting multiple quotes from different contractors. This property is not really that close to my house, so I had to drive 30 minutes each way to go to this property 3 or 4 times to get multiple quotes to then solidify the contractor that we were going to be using on this property. So all that done, 3 weeks into the transaction, we got the entity docs done, we got title lined up, we're ready to close. We have everything in place. The contractors are literally sitting on the lawn waiting for us to say go. The leases are all in place. We got people lined up to come into the property after the two. So what we were doing, we was adding, we were making 1 bedroom, huge bedroom, closing off a living room, making a huge bedroom, and adding a bathroom. So it's going to be a total of 7 bedrooms, 9 tenants, $7,500 a month. And so we commenced on everything, right? We put everything together. It was all in play. The day before we were supposed to close. So I don't know if y'all are familiar with insurance on subject to properties. So subject to, just so if you know, is whenever you buy a property subject to the existing mortgage. The existing mortgage stays in place, and you come in and you transfer title into a new name, whether your name or entity, but the loan itself stays in place, and then you just continue payments on the loan. Cool. But on the insurance front, if you want new insurance that is like has your entity labeled on there, then you have to be very delicate in how you do it. You have to do it with the current owner of the loan, like the original guarantor. They have to be named insured on the new policy, or the bank will not accept it. So as you know, when you get a mortgage, your taxes, title, and insurance your taxes and insurance are impounded in escrow, and then they're paid for at the end of the year when all that's due. Well, in order for you to get the new policy in there, you have to do what just said, right? You have to cancel the old one and put in the new one, but on the new one, you have to have the person that's on the loan named insured. So I mentioned this to him the day before we were supposed to close. I said, hey, let's just get with title. Got to make sure you do the insurance right for sub 2. I said, it's not impossible. It can be a little tricky if you don't know what you're doing. We could use a TC, so on and so forth. And so he reached out to his own research, and everything was good. And so what was going to have to happen is we're going to have double insurance for a couple weeks. Big deal. Before we were able to cancel the one and get the new one. So the day we're supposed to close, he gives me a call, and we talked that morning as he's driving somewhere. It seemed like not an important call to him, and tells me, hey, by the way, I talked to the other partner, and we decided not to move forward. We're not going to scale anymore. We're not going to buy any more properties in Vegas or elsewhere, which, at this point, you've backed out on the first deal, right? The memory care clinic, which, you have a good excuse there. But this one, I forgot to mention, 3 weeks prior, they wanted to buy a portfolio from my partner out here in Vegas. They're saying, hey, is your partner interested? We'd be interested in buying a portfolio out there. Okay, well, she never got the numbers together. So, but that reality was becoming more of a reality because of the operations here in Vegas are now maturing into a more sexy offering, right? and multiple properties are now being offered in this model where we're selling them to the like gentlemen like this, and doing like a partnership model where we're actually the still managing the property and they come in as the capital partners. It's a great model for people that don't want to manage and aren't in the same state, right? They could just put up their capital. We manage the property. They have a huge equity piece and a huge cash flow and a preferred interest. So we had not this one, but there was a second property that we were also, that they were already looking at, that they said the numbers look great on. And then there was a third one that I hadn't even sent them. I had mentioned it to them, but I was still putting the numbers together. That was going to be an option. They were all gung ho until the insurance mentioned, I guess. I don't know. But the day of, they pulled the plug, and not just on that one, but on all the other ones. Now, say, Aaron, well, that's just one deal. What's the big deal? Well, it's not just one deal, right? That was supposed to be 1, 2, 3, possibly 5, maybe even 10, the way that they were talking, right? Now, this was the second time that they pulled the plug. This one was it stung a little more because we was already down the line. We was literally closing that day. Operating agreement signed, right? Like I'm owner of this other company that now is not going anywhere. So, it's like, anyways, know who you're dealing with and vet them out thoroughly, because the first time they did it on the memory care, understandable. The second time they did it, this just seems like it's their MO. They string people along and waste people's time. This didn't just waste like 1 or 2 days. I mean, it's like 3 weeks of working on this project, a solid week of me having to travel back and forth, actually work directly on this project. And, that's the name of the game sometimes. But, I like to share these experiences because these are real experiences. It's a learning lesson for me. What lessons did I learn from this, right? If you do it to me once, you're probably going to do it to me again. That's first one. She'll just let you go. And, vetting out the validity of what they're saying, right? And how they can perform and their ability to perform. Like, I don't know what they have going on outside of what they tell me, right? I didn't verify any of their credentials or their holdings or nothing. I'm just going off of what they're talking about. And people talk, right? People will tell you whatever it is they want you to know to get you to do whatever it is they want you to do. So, lesson learned from me: be wary who you partner with, who get in bed with, and make sure they can perform. But I want to show y'all the property because, they didn't come through on it. It's still a great offering. I haven't pushed it out yet. I haven't showed anybody else, but I do have it all put together right here for us to look at. And I got like 3 or 4 other ones too. We're doing a lot right here in Vegas. We are coming up on a lot of properties that we've been working on that are now full and cash flowing. They have good cash flow now, and they have the opportunity to have more cash flow in the future. I'm going to tell y'all what the plan was on this one and show y'all. Now, the way the offering was to them, it was a little different. They were coming in at 87. We didn't have a preferred return because it was just what we needed to make was 15% was what they needed to make to satisfy the capital that they were bringing in. I think they were raising roughly around 110 because there's an opportunity cost for the money they're raising. So I think we were all three going to eat on the front end. There was some reserves built in there, but the number still made sense. So the way that I have it right now is someone comes in with 87,650. We're offering 12% preferred. So this is not like a projected return. This is like what you're putting in your pocket if you come on this board. Right now, this property is generating $5,800 a month. It is 86% occupied because we have the one room that we will be adding. And I'll show you all that in a second. Currently, monthly PITI on this property is $3,075, which is not going to change unless we increase the insurance. The value is 509 is what we were selling it for, and then 425 is what's left on the open loans. As stated, this is a subject to property. We have a current loan mortgage of, I think it was 330 something at like 7%. And then we have like another seller finance loan on it at 0% interest, principal only payments for 4 or 5 years. And then after 4 or 5 years, 4% gets added to that, whatever the principal balance is. I have a little overlap here, not good. So current status of the home now. This is, so this right here, this room right here, this is what you're looking at there. They have an entrance on the side, which is nice. Currently, you walk in the front door right here, which is right here. Come in, they have this used to be a dining room, it is now a bedroom. And then this hall, this has a bunch of bedrooms, and then there's a casita in the backyard. So right now you walk in, they got this little bitty area to like, and a little stool bench thing right here to eat your food, and a pretty tiny kitchen. Okay, well, and then it goes into this room, which this room is not being, it's vacant right now. It's nothing burger. I think we have a picture. No. So the proposed plan is we will delete these walls, put a bathroom. And in order to save costs, they already have a door right here. They already have a wall right here. So we're going to put up a wall right here. And this will be the bathroom. We're going to put a wall from this to here. And then this will be closet. Actually, yeah. So we'll put a wall from here to here. There's going to be a wall that comes across here. Be a little closet for the bedroom. Door that comes out, and this is going to be a hallway. So now you're going to come hallway, and then this is going to be like a nice size living, small dining, but like table and chair, and then like couches and a TV and such for people to chill, because everybody here is 55 plus, so they like to chill out, right? A lot of them don't work. So that was the plan. To do this, it was like $12,000, $13,000. The plumbing, it's like right here. Tie in, boop, and done. That's it. It's like a 3-week project, and then we have two other tenants that was going to be moving in, and this bedroom would generate a minimum of $1,600 a month additional on top of the $5,800, which would bring us to roughly $9,500. So that was the $7,500. So that was the plan. That's what we're doing. And this is still an active offering, right? This is still open for anybody that wants to come up. Now, these are your year 1, year 2, year 3 metrics. A lot of people question this 98% in occupancy, and I've talked about it many times. Once these properties get full, they usually do not get empty. And because there's so many beds, like so many separate income streams, meaning you got 9 beds, right? So it's 9 income streams. If one person exits for 2 weeks or a month, the percentage is barely makes a mark on the vacancies, right? Because you have most of the time, whenever we're doing a transfer or when we're vacant, it's like a 2-week period. Well, if you're averaging $800 a month and you got 1 bed empty for 2 weeks, that's $400 out of your $7,500. So, and that's only for 2 weeks. I mean, it's like that's only for 1 month. So, I mean, it doesn't even register on the Richter. Very low. So, I mean, the 98% is a reality that we live by because we have many properties like that here in town. This is the total ROI for an investor coming in. Now, this is complete projections on, if you're doing your taxes at this bracket, right? Appreciation, I think we have it at like I want to say 3% a year. Pretty standard stuff. Depreciation, your debt pay down. So your total ROI on investment, projected ROI. Now, anybody that's listening, this is for educational purposes only. So, this is what we're looking at. This is the numbers, how we run it. Now, will this be the final? I don't know. This is just off of our experience and our properties and what we got going on. So, return on investment first year with the additional cash flow and the preferred return is roughly 21% cash on cash and a 50% return on investment. That's at a 12% return preferred and a 50% cash flow and equity. Year 5, which this is a 5-year hold, you're looking at a nice little lick. You've done made all your money back, and now you have plenty of equity in the property. We can continue the venture, or we could refi you out, cash you out, so on and so forth. There's different exits on year 5. So this is but this is the offering, guys. This is what was offered to them, and could be offered to you if you want. You could look me up. I got my link in the description with other offerings as well. So yeah, I'm gonna sign off and quit embarrassing myself. Y'all have a good one.